A few years ago, I was feeling really terrible about myself because I wasn't making a lot of progress on the reciprocity project. And it was I was feeling really down, right? Like I started this project. This is what's going to happen to you, right? If you create something, you're going to start it and then you're going to get into it. And you're going to realize, man, this is really challenging and I can't figure this out. Um, until I started thinking about this, that isn't this actually what's supposed to happen? That it is supposed to be challenging. And these stories that you hear about, um, of a sort of everything comes together and it's easy. And, um, people say how they sort of won. You've never met anybody in your life that is close to you that that has ever happened to them. And if that's the case, why would you expect any other thing other than a very slow, difficult grind that takes a long time? And it's very fascinating that I think about this, right? If you put this into perspective, that absolutely everybody sucks, right? Like you start off at the same position. Almost everybody sort of, let me take that back. There are a lot of people that are privileged, right? They have access to different things that you don't have access to, and yes, things come easy. But the reason why they're privileged is ultimately because of luck. There are various different things born into it, all that kind of stuff. But if you were focusing on yourself and doing things that's going to help you out for you at this moment and fixing all the things that are going on with you, it's often a very slow, challenging grind that you have to figure out. And you realize as you do this, even those people that are in the privileged position, whatever that might be, the vast majority of them, because they're in a privileged position, they have all of these shortfalls in things that are troubling as well, right? Like getting resources given to you can mess you up, right? Vastly. There's a lot of people that I've met over the years that they're just lazy because they had everything given to them. You don't When you realize that like not having everything given to you and having to figure things out is an advantage. I mean that is a breakthrough. Right? Like coming to the terms where you're just thinking in your mind, like I know that everybody else is is kind of messed up in various different ways. So what can I possibly do if that's the case? Well, if that's the case, then you realize like I'm okay being me, and I can try this thing. So in terms of the reciprocity project, right? Like when I wasn't really getting any results and getting sort of frustrated, angry, as I still do today, right? Like it doesn't really see this. I got to take a step back and say, why would I expect anything else, right? And if that's the case, that this is going to be a slow, painful grind, and it's going to be hard to do, and all of those things. Well, then I need to get going. I need to keep trying, right? It's fascinating when I see this. One of the things that I often think about is I go to the gym and I see, I go to the gym at a place where there's lots of young folks that are there, like very young, and nobody is big in any sort of way. They're all pretty normal. But if you go to a normal, like, fitness place, there's a ton of people that are big. Well, then you have to think about why is it that they're actually getting there. And it's not typically to do with the fact that they did put in the work and all that kind of stuff, but they took all these kind of medications and all that kind of stuff that most people would not take, right? Um, and if that's the case, being normal, right? Like coming back to, okay, what is the default? Well, you should assume that what you're actually doing is normal, and those people that are getting those extraordinary results, well, they're probably doing things that you wouldn't possibly do. They're not legitimate, all those kind of things. And if that's the case, it's a slow, boring, tedious grind. Well, then you got to get up and you got to start doing that slow, boring, tedious grind every day. And you may not get the results that you're expected or that you see in the news in magazine. Well, nobody reads magazines online and all that kind of stuff where people are really big. You're just going to be pretty ordinary. And if that's the case, you're going to be pretty ordinary. Well, what do you have to do things to um, sort of move the dial? You just get back up and you do it again, and you get back up and you do it again, and you do that for a long time, right? And I'm when I'm saying this is that your expectation, you may never end up getting any of these spectacular results that people talk about and all that kind of stuff, which is most of the time it's just marketing anyways, right? And impression management. And instead, what you're going to get is a very slow, tedious, boring grind because everybody else around you is just grinding away. They all suck. Everybody sucks, right? Like when you realize this, that everybody sucks, and the only difference between you and them is the fact that you just get up and you keep trying, or somebody else, right? The fact that they accomplished a whole bunch of stuff. Um, A, they did it nefariously, or B, they just got up and they grinded it every day, every single day. They just keep going, one more step, one more step, one more step. They get up and they have that burning energy, which in of itself is an advantage, having that energy, getting up and doing it. But here's the thing, what is your alternative? I think about that a lot. I get up every morning, I feel tired, I don't want to do anything, just like absolutely everybody else. But what is my alternative? Right? Like I could retire and take a step away and all that kind of stuff, but and I think why would I why would I do that? Right? At this point, why wouldn't I just keep taking those steps moving forward just like you? And hopefully you do the same thing. You just keep taking those steps every single day. Boring, tedious work, just one more step. And if you do that, you repeatedly do that, yes, you will not expect any kind of miraculous results. And yes, it will take a long, 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 long time, like decades. But, but at the end of it, you'll be proud of the thing that you've done because you did that all legitimately. And it's amazing what you can accomplish in a decade and 2 decades. It truly is amazing what happens if you do that all the time. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.